Hey honey buns, today we're going to be turning these pants into a cute two-piece. Grab your scissors and let's get ready. Honeybuntv. Okay, honey buns, everything you're going to need is going to be listed in the description box below, but you're going to need your jeans, grommets, some bungee cord, and of course some scissors and jeans. The first thing that you are going to do is you are going to be marking how short or how long you are going to want your pants. I did them pretty short because I wanted enough fabric to work with for my top portion because I knew the top that I was going to make. So that's why you can see me here kind of contemplating where I'm marking off and cutting. After that, these pants have a lot of pockets on them, and I am going to bust the seams on them. Now, if your pants don't have pockets on them, you don't have to worry about busting the seams on your pants. But for right now, I'm going to take my seam ripper as you see here, and I'm just going to take the pockets off and possibly use them for some more fabric. And as I tell y'all any other time, keep your scraps, okay? If you have never used a seam ripper before, you can see me using it with the knife flat on its back part. However, you really should be using a seam ripper with the ball facing down, because if you use it with the knife portion facing down rather than up, you can cut through the fabric. But you know, I've gotten so used to doing it this way, so I'm gonna do it like this. Anyways, this is just me showing you guys what I am talking about if you're new to using a seam ripper and what it looks like close up. After busting all of the pockets on these pants, I am now where you see this black mark right here going to cut where I want my jeans basically to stop at. So these are going to be pretty short, but not too short, okay? And I'm going to use the excess fabric as my top. Now, notice how the bottom is not clear cut. That's because we're going to hem the bottom for a clean finish. So all you're going to do is literally fold over about a ½ inch to an inch. It's up to you. I typically go ½ inch. And that is where you are going to sew around to create your hem. After we create our hem, as you can see, now I have extra fabric to work with. We are going to get started on the first top. Now, these are the leg portions, so I'm just opening the pants up. And I'm going to be folding this, but I'm going to fold this in a way where it is a 4-way stretch rather than a 2-way stretch. And that's another thing you got to consider when you're getting jeans, that the whole pants is stretchy. Because if you get pants that are not stretchy, you can still achieve the look. However, it is not going to form and stretch on your body like how stretchy pants would. So that is why I decided to cut it this way, horizontal rather than vertically. Now we have 2 pieces to work with. The best way that I can say to do this is to take a top that is not too tight, but perhaps body fitting or body forming to you. And then you are going to cut off all the excess that you see from using your top as a pattern. And because we're looking for a clear, clean cut finish, we are going to be hemming all the sides. So here I am just folding over the edges about ½ inch so we can literally hem this up as well to give it a clean cut and clear finish. Now that we did that for the first top, this is going to be our second top, which is fairly going to be a little bit more easier and less steps to it. All I'm doing is just cutting around to make this more so of a bandeau. Now, if your chest is like 32 inches and things of that magnitude, then you're going to cut how many ever inches it is to create this bandeau top. That's how I got mine. Now, if you don't have enough fabric for that, then you may need to get more fabric, or you may need to start from scratch. But I was lucky enough to have enough fabric to work with how many inches my top portion was. After that, I cut the bandeau portions out, and we are just going to take this to the sewing machine, just like we are going to take our first top to the sewing machine. Now, for the first top, we've already hemmed it, but the second top, I'm just going to create another tutorial for y'all. However, as you guys can see, this is what the top looks like, and all you're going to do is take both sides, right sides facing each other, and you are literally going to sew down only the sides, only the two sides where you saw my left and my right hand holding. Here is just me showing you what the hemmed bottom looks like and what hems should look like. Now, getting back to our first top, I'm placing grommets on this top, and because of that, I'm going to place them about 1.5 inches away from each other. You can do 2 inches away, you can do 3 inches, but 1.5 inches typically has always worked for me. After everything, I went ahead and started crushing my grommets. If you guys do not know how to crush and or apply your grommets to your fabric and or your outfit, in my previous tutorial I went over how to do it. But all you're just going to do is literally make a hole in the fabric, get the 2 pieces and crush them. Now we are moving on to our second top. Here I am taking one of the extra pockets and I'm just placing it on front. But because we have sewed our 2 pieces together making the top, now we are literally just going to fold over about 1/2 inch, or really 1 inch in this case, pertaining to how big your elastic you'll be using, and we are going to sew around. Notice how I am grabbing 2 pins and I am placing them about 1 inch to 2 inches apart from each other. This is where your elastic band is going to be inserted, but you need to place these pins at least 2 inches away from each other. As you can see, I'm guiding my hand to the right because you are going to start where that pinpoint is and sew all the way around except for where my thumb is going under, because again, that is where our elastic is going to go. Now, you are going to sew from one pin to the other. Now that we have sewed around those pins, we are just going to find the opening, which is right here. And we're going to take our elastic, which is placed on a safety pin, and just push it all the way through with that casing that we basically just made. And to literally finish it off, once that elastic comes back through the other end, all you are going to do is sew it down and close it on up. The pocket that I placed on top, I am literally sewing it right here, and I am using a zigzag stitch because this is stretch fabric. Getting back to our first top, we are going to be taking this bungee cord out. Now, I did not measure how long of the bungee cord that I'll be using. I literally just cut it and said we'll cut off the extra fabric if we need to, or the extra bungee for that. So that is literally what I did. And I just put the bungee cord in just like you would do your sneakers or your shoes that got laces on them, and it came out pretty cute. Now, I use these little zip lockers. I know that probably is the wrong name for them, but I use the little zip lockers to tie the end so the bungee cord won't keep coming out when I take the top off and when I put it on. After doing that, this is how the top came out, honey buns. So cute, so fierce, and this is the whole outfit put together. Now I'll see you honey buns on honeybuntv _ next week. Mwah.